Good morning. Today's topic is going to be about um okay, so as you may know, in May, my dog since she's getting all these mixed signals, well, me, my daughter, and my two daughters are we're doing training on on our family dog. I mean, we would spend hours training her, making her sit, lay down, all this other stuff. And my husband was unwilling and still is unwilling to do any form of friend, the one ex-friend, I guess now, but it's not her fault. I suppose emotions ran deep on both of us, both of our sides. She was trying very hard, gave me lots of information. I spoke about her in my euthanasia video. Anyway, she told me about this dog training method that where you basically don't give the dog anything for free. It's got to work for everything in its life. And I really like that mentality. I mean, no dog, you feed your dog, I'm going to make that fucker lay down before, and then I will give her a command to get up and then she can go eat. Because otherwise, I mean, who's this? What? She's going to walk all over me? Well, not in the literal sense of walking on me, but I mean, no, but my husband, he doesn't, like, I would put the dog to bed or let her go in her crate at 9 o'clock, 9:20, 9 something in the evening. I'd take her out bathroom, bring her back in, let her sleep the night in her crate. Well, since May, everything has turned upside down. She's still showing very aggressive behaviors, especially if my husband is around. She will still show protective tendencies towards him when dealing with, like, if he's holding her, she's near him, she will hide behind him or raise her cheeks or anything. Like, if he's holding her and somebody comes in to pet her, on her back, she will raise her cheeks at she won't growl, but she'll raise her cheeks at you like, I don't like this. Don't fucking come near me and him. And it's not gotten any better. My dad told me that since he canceled the euthanasia appointment, that it's now his responsibility to take care of the dog. Now, my husband hasn't been giving her shots, or he hasn't taken her into the vet for the yearly vet visit. You should do that if you have an animal anyway. That way you can keep a record of your dog's progression as it ages. I mean, it's like, getting yourself your booster shot so you're immunized for the next 7 years or 10 years or 3 years or yearly. Like, I get the flu shot every year. That's just my preference. We don't live in the dark ages, so you shouldn't live in the dark ages. We have modern medicine for a reason. Vaccinations are there for a reason. I don't buy into that bullshit propaganda about vaccinations cause diseases. Vaccinations cure or prevent diseases. Not cure. Cure was not the right word. Yes, that was not the right word. But that's just my preference. Anybody who has a dog should always take it in yearly to get it, get it checked up, make sure it doesn't have Lyme's, check and, get it vaccinated for whatever the heck it is that it gets every couple years or whatever. And then they have that kennel thing. I don't know what it is. That one's optional. You don't really have to get it done, but I used to just do it just because I considered it kind of like a flu shot. If your dog is socialized with other animals, it's, maybe there's a dog flu or whatever that goes around. I don't know. I haven't looked into what that shot is for, but Anyway, I was just considered it a preventative kind of care kind of thing, like they do with like, I don't have to pay extra because I take birth control pills for hormonal regulation. I don't have to pay extra. I don't have to pay out of my pocket for that. Or, like, if I want to get the flu shot, my insurance people say, good on you for getting, doing these things. Yeah, of course, they consider the birth control a preventative for, having children, which that's not why I'm taking it, but oh my God, I don't know why I didn't take that several years ago. I mean, I don't know why I wasn't taking birth control when I was 24 on. I have saved so much in feminine products, it's not even a joke. Anyway, that was a sidetrack. This is dog topic. So anyway, it bothers me that the dog has not improved, and I'm going by my dad's recommendation of fine. He wanted to take her off of the euthanasia, because since she bit a human, we had to put her in quarantine for 10 days. Because I guess that's, she bit a human, and now it's on record that she has bitten a human. But this isn't the first time she's bitten a human. That's just that was the final straw for me. She bit my hand in a couple places, and the vet said, well, either we put her down and then we ship her brain off to get analysis and then ship it back and let you know if she has it, or you can quarantine her for 10 days and then bring her in for the euthanasia. Within that time, if in hindsight, I should have said, let's just make the appointment, you send her brain off. Even though she does not have rabies, she didn't, in any of the time there, she didn't have it, but it's their precaution. When a dog bites a human, that's what they have to do. When the protocol of putting the dog down is issued, that's what happens is, they want you to quarantine that dog for 10 days, or they're going to do the medical examination to take the brain out, or whatever part. I don't know what part it is. I remember she told me, but it was an emotional wreck when she explained when the veterinarian explained all of what happens when you do say you want to put your dog down. I don't know if it works the same way with cats. I don't know if cats get rabies. They only talk about dogs. But anyway, off the topic. So my husband has been doing all the care for her, taking her out, making her go potty, feeding her. And he's been feeding her. Now we have a cup, or it's a measuring cup, a dry measuring cup, measuring scoop. It's 1/3. So, the vet said a 1/3 cup every two times a day of dry food. So that's what I was doing, right? So then my husband took a 3-week trip out of the States. So we had to take care of the dog, which all I did was I put it out on the chain and I would feed it, make sure it has water, because I'm not that much of a douchebag. It's not the dog's fault. But anyway, I noticed that the dog, instead, because my husband had been feeding her, like, you got your scoop. I can't show you. I don't have my measuring cups. And hers is in her food dish or food container anyway. Anyway, he would fill the thing up way over the top. That's like, well, if you're gonna measure like a scoop of, a cup, a third of a cup of flour, that top has to be flat, right? Well, that's not for him. It's scoop and scoop extra. So basically, he's giving 2/3 a cup each meal. And thought I had to sneeze. Anyway, God damn it, my nose still itches. Okay, so anyway, he's been overfeeding her since May, because he took over the care of feeding her. So she got plump. She visibly looked fatter. Like, her back was arching even, and her middle, like, if you look straight down at her, you're supposed to see this, and and then back out. You're supposed to see a nice, not a very defined, but a nice, you're supposed to be able to see. I mean, if you look down and your dog just looks like a big Twinkie, your dog is too fat. But when we looked straight down at the dog, she just would look like that. She would just, there's no indentation or anything. You could tell she was carrying more weight than she was supposed to. And since she's a wiener dog, they're supposed to keep them more at a normal or a little thinner than normal weight, or, in that normal range. I think since she's a smaller dog, I think it's a 10 or 11 pounds to 12 or something like that. And I think she probably weighed, at that point before he went on his trip, she probably weighed 16 pounds or something. And you could tell, like I said, her back was slumping and her belly was, oh yeah, that's another thing. And when you look at them this way, their belly should be not a very big difference in the back, but ribs, and then it should curve up at a nice angle and then go into their haunch, their back leg. On her, she just kind of, and then dipped in the back because she was starting to gain a little weight down in there. And that was it's kind of sad to watch the dog that you've been raising for 2 years, 2.5 years or whatever, or however long we've had her, the dog that you've been carefully trying to get to train, and you're spending all this time, and then you finally realize, oh, it's because she's getting mixed signals in the house. And my kids and I've advised my kids every single time that to be careful when the dog is around, or when my husband is around and the dog is around, that they still need to be careful. That's just how life is now. But anyway, I got her back down to a nice 12 weight or 11 weight or somewhere in that range. And the first thing he said when he went to pick up the dog, wow, she's so skinny. Have you even been feeding her? And it's like, I may not like the dog anymore or want to have a dog in this house because of him, but I'm not going to be a douchebag because it's not the dog's fault. It's my husband's fault on why the dog is getting treated this way. So he hasn't been, he stopped. I only had 2 pills, I think two heartworm pills. Now, see, that was another thing. I give heartworm every month to the dog because my kids and I jokingly call it vein spaghetti. Look it up if you don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so we'd give her the heartworm pills, and no problem. Those heartworm pills are, a nice big stinky piece of meat, or at least it smells like meat. It's not, but anyway, it's encased in a piece of stuff, so that way the dog just eats it without spitting the pill back up. And I would do flea and tick treatment. I would do this month because it hasn't dipped and stayed continuously below 40 degrees yet for this month. But my husband has not done flea treatment for September, or the 15th. It was every time on the 15th is when I did it, because we got, that's just when I decided that would be a good time to do it, halfway through the month. I mean, I could have done it in the beginning of the month, but I have other things that I have to remember in the beginning of the month. So I was like, during the half of the month time. That's perfect. So he stopped giving her heartworm pills because he ran out, and he's been trying to find them. And I told him, well, I was just got them from the vet. I know where they keep them, but I'm not telling him because I want him to go to the vet, because the first thing they're going to ask him is, does she still bite? Does she still show aggression towards other people in the family? Does she still wet her kennel? And, various things like that. Or, they're going to ask him those questions when he brings her in. And she will obviously fail all those. I mean, he may lie and say, oh, she's perfect now. I mean, I don't know. It's not really my problem, I guess. But it kind of is. But anyway, so today I was like, well, me and my youngest daughter wants to be a veterinarian of small animals. That's what she wants to do. And my husband keeps discouraging her and telling her, no, that's probably not something you want to be. And so all summer, my daughter and I were the ones that took her to the vet all the time. And, anyway, my daughter wants to go to the vet so that she can talk to the vet people before she goes into 9th grade to see what kind of high school electives she should think about taking in high school, in order to get a feel for what veterinary school is going to be like. That's what she wants to do. So anyway, and my husband just keeps saying, no, you don't want to be a vet. You don't want to go. And he keeps procrastinating and all this stuff about not going to the vet. Like I said, because he knows that they're going to ask those hard to realize questions that he's going to have to acknowledge that, yes, he is the reason why that dog in our family is still being aggressive and still shows tendencies to growl or bite at people when he's around and she's there. I don't know what to do. I have people saying that I'm heartless and I'm cruel for it. Like I said, you don't know the situation, not all of it. I don't give all of the information in here. I know none of my friends are on the same. None of my friends think the same way. They all would just let the dog do whatever, I'm not one of those people, but so I feel really bad that I have to put the dog outside. But I told him, I said, hey, you want to treat that dog like it's a farm animal, a farm dog, where you just keep him outside and you make sure you feed him and give him somewhere nice to live. Hey, if he doesn't want to make sure that she's protected against fleas, heartworm, and all this other stuff for diseases that we don't want carried into the home and we don't want around us, then she can just stay outside in her little, in her area, That's what we keep telling him, hoping that will gently push him towards going to the vet and at least getting her checked out. I need to sneeze and I can't. I don't know why. I suppose because there's no real bright light right here. Yes, I'm one of those people that needs a light. I need to stare at a bright light for a moment in order to just sneeze. I don't know. That's just how I've been my whole life. Anyway, this video has taken way too long, and I don't know. I don't even remember where I was going with this at the beginning of it, but I guess we can call this update on family dog situation or something like that. Yeah, okay, bye.